All right, welcome. We are live for this wonderful Tuesday evening. Happy summer evening. Welcome all in the stream. This is Total OS Today, Total Technology for Beginners and Beyond. If you don't know who I am a Windows user that promotes Linux usually. Tonight we're going to talk about something that affects all users, not just Linux users, but everybody. And I can see here in the chat, some of you guys are fed up with those emails too. So am I. Have you heard about the GDPR and the updates to the privacy terms of service? It makes me wonder if anything can truly be done to protect our privacy. Seems like every year there's some funny stuff going on, some hacking going on, data collection without your true consent, as it were. It's not going to end. Anyway, we will talk about it. My co-host tonight is Tim, joining me again for this evening, and I think he's kind of fed up with it also. But it's gone to the point where when a company sends me a privacy policy update, no, I want you to take my data, take all you want, knock yourself out, but don't lie to me. How does that sound for a privacy policy? Take all you want, just tell me the truth.
Yep.
Imagine that. Anyway,
just think of how much could be avoided if these companies were just simply transparent. If they started with transparency, my rule has always been, specifically especially in the business world, if you start with transparency with the people that you deal with, you will always end with transparency on both parties' behalf. It sets a good precedence.
Stop sending the emails. Imagine how much electricity you could save, how much data you could save if you stop sending those emails to everybody.
No kidding.
Because people are fed up, like myself. All right, so welcome everybody in the chat. Let's go real quick to say hello, then we'll get straight to the topic. Steve Gunnett, Chase Thomas, Jeff L. Pearson, number 2. We have Steve Winkler, hello. Let's see who else is. Sky Bear, the Bionic Flying Bear. That sounds like a kid's show, and it's awesome. Anyway, welcome all. Sad Error 256 is done with the email. Steve Gers, DT is in the house. DistroTube is in the house. He says, "What emails? Don't worry, I'll forward mine all to you." How does that sound? Mark A says, "What's up? Fun Linux laptop as opposed to boring Linux laptop." Welcome all, and Amit Biswas is in the house. Amit, welcome. Is this your first time? You don't look familiar. We have a custom on the show. Anybody new, we have to say hello to Amit. I will not continue till we say hello to Amit. So, yeah, everybody say hello.
Hello, Amit.
I hope I say your name right. All right, while we're saying hello to Amit, welcome. Let me get my stuff ready here, and I'll do some screen sharing here. So we're going to talk about exactly what the GDPR is. Some of you probably already know, but we'll talk about it here. Then I downloaded what they have to offer, or what they're trying to explain, what they're trying to do and accomplish with this new privacy regulation. Ostensibly, it sounds great, but we'll give it a second or say hello to Amit. Gecko the Lizard is in the house. What's up, man? Kagan the Tennessean.
Had a great weekend, Keegan. The weather was extremely hot here in the land of 10,000 lakes.
I think it hit 90 yesterday or today, or close to it. Yeah, I'm not complaining. We had a longer winter than usual, and I'll take the heat in it because at least I can go out for a walk, cut the grass. You know what I mean? Go swimming.
We had some 100-degree days, and
That's warm.
We're helping some friends of our family get ready for a graduation party for their son.
Nice.
And they have a large parking lot next to their house because they run a business from their home. And they had a couple of potholes in this lot. So yesterday morning when it was, I think it was about 85, 90 degrees, we dumped 800 pounds. I think I figured out 800 pounds of tar patch in the driveway, smoothed it out, used a tamper, tamped it down. And you know what? I was pretty sore by the time I got to the end of the day. It reminded me I am not as young is toss. I am not as young as you.
Lots of vitamins and you'll be in good shape. DT says, Winter, what's that? DT is he's being a smart aleck tonight, But
Well,
that's okay. We still love you. He
is it,
lives
is
in
it
he lives in the South, like South America or something. No, I'm just kidding.
Louisiana?
That's South America, is it? That's like a whole other
Yeah,
country
it
there.
is. It is.
Anyway, Steve Gurr says hot in the Detroit area. Yeah, it's right now it's 82 still. That's a little warm for 10 after 10 here in the evening in Ohio. Yeah, Steve Gunnick says the only thing that was pouring here was sweat off my back. It was hot and humid. I love it. Love it. I cut my front grass today and it felt great. Yes, DT is from Santiago, Chile. Okay, man, you save me a couple ludes when I come see you, okay, man? Just kidding. Do not do it. All right, we'll wait another minute or two, get everybody in the chat, and we'll talk about what we're all fed up with is updates to the privacy policy for emails or e-meals, in case you're hungry.
Here we go. Right. Here it goes.
we go to food
Mate
again.
and meatballs.
Mate and meatballs.
Ma-
It's emails, not e-meals. I don't have a problem with policy updates to e-meals. Hey, there's a business, e-meals, but how would that work? I don't know. Electronic meals. I don't know. You'd be surprised how many people think New Mexico is part of Mexico. I think the president thinks that. No, I don't know. Sorry, I had to throw that in. God.
Steve
Okay,
just said, by the way,
yeah.
what happened this spring, and it lasted about a week. Steve,
Yeah,
here in
really.
Minnesota, I'm not sure I can't remember where you're from. I think you had said once. We had, we got 16 inches of snow on a Saturday. And
Wow.
2 weeks from that Saturday, the high for the day was, I think, 78.
Jeez.
Unbelievable.
Crazy, man. Crazy. All right, I'm going to screen share. Get rid of the tunnel vision. All right, real quick. What is this GDPR? No, it's not something for your car. It's the General Data Protection Regulation, okay? It's something from the EU. It's an EU law on the data protection and privacy for all individuals within the European Union and the European Economic Area. It also addresses the export of personal data outside the EU and the EEA. The GDPR aims primarily to give control to citizens and residents over their personal data and to simplify the regulatory. Basically what this says is the people of the EU, apparently like we are, fed up with the unwelcome, unsolicited, excessive data collection, lack of privacy, yada, yada, yada. So that's what the EU is in a nutshell. I think it's great they're trying to do something, but can they really fix it? So, I looked it up. This is from the European Commission. There's a lot here. I'll go through this as quickly as I can, and then I'll get to your comments. So, data protection in the EU. Okay, so whether through online banking, shopping, social media, tax returns, we're sharing more and more of our personal data. What is personal data? It says here. I won't go that. Let's scroll down to the next page. The right to know who is processing what and why. I would tend to agree. Now, there's a highlight here. This orange bubble bought something online. The seller must collect only the data needed to fulfill the contract. Good luck with that. They must also provide you with the information listed above and delete the data when they no longer need it. That's the key. Delete the data when they no longer need it. The question is, who is the data police?
You know what? How
Yeah.
how are they going to ever get rid of the data when they so-called no longer ever need it? Because when you
right.
buy something from many of these places, isn't part of the terms and conditions when you hit, submit my order or purchase,
Yes.
is that in the future we will be marketing to you, and you can opt out of it at any time?
Well, that's the question. I mean, how effective is this going to be? And if they tell you yes, it will be deleted, I mean, how do you know?
Yep.
All right. So the right to access your data. You have the right to request access to the personal data an organization has about you free of charge. An example of that would be deleting your Facebook account history and all that free of charge. Apps asking too much? Yeah. Want to see what an e-shop knows about you? You bought goods from an online retailer. You can ask the company to give you the personal data they hold about you, including your name and contact details, credit card information, and dates and types of purchases. But here's the thing. Even if the retailer or any entity gives you what you want, what are you going to do about it? Right?
Mm-hmm.
The right to object. Okay, I guess we're kind of objecting to what's going on with this live cast. If an organization is processing your personal data, you may have the right to object. However, in some circumstances, public interest may prevail. I guess there's power in the masses. Fed up of ads. You bought 2 tickets online to see your favorite band played live. Afterwards, you're bombarded with adverts for concerts and events that you're not interested in. Sound familiar? You inform the online ticketing company that you don't want to receive further advertising material. The company should stop processing your data for direct marketing, and shortly afterwards you should no longer receive emails from them. They shouldn't charge you for this. Ostensibly, it sounds fantastic. The right to correct your data. Errors in your personal data can have a significant impact on your life when applying for loans, insurance, credit. If you believe that personal data held by an organization might be incorrect, incomplete, or inaccurate, you can ask for it to be corrected. Is incorrect data costing you? You apply for a new insurance policy, but notice the company mistakenly records you as a smoker, increasing your life insurance payments. You have the right to contact them and get this corrected. I've never had this happen to me because I don't smoke, but for people out there who have smoked or other issues and had to go through this, has contacting the company, and just out of curiosity, has it been effective? All right, we're about halfway done here. The right to have data deleted and to be forgotten. Let me just stop this here, okay? And me and Switch to Linux talked about this. This sounds great. You do have the right to have your data deleted and to be forgotten. In today's age, Tim, web technology age, you cannot delete yourself from the web, at least not completely. I've come to the conclusion that
it's a fallacy.
It's impossible. You can make yourself more secure as you shop and be careful who you talk to, and you should, absolutely.
Yep.
But you have the right to be forgotten. How?
That's a fallacy. I can
Right.
understand being able to have your data deleted.
Yes.
That is reasonable.
Yes.
And any company that you do business with,
Right.
and depending upon your stance on privacy and
Right.
all the underlying pieces that go with it, that's
Yes.
understandable. But you will never be forgotten.
Yes.
If you have a presence online to any degree whatsoever, you will never be forgotten, ever.
Well, and right, and this is what the EU, this data protection law, this is what they are trying to do. And I guess you need to start somewhere. But are they going to accomplish all of this? It's impossible. I suppose if they accomplish 1 out of 10 things, I guess that's something. That's why I think this is all really almost, I shouldn't say it's a waste of time, but it makes us angry or makes me like frustrated. Stop sending me emails with the privacy updates. You cannot fix this unless you just get off the web, period. All right. Let's see here. Search results are irrelevant. When you type your name into a online search engine, the results include links to an old newspaper article about a debt you paid long ago. If you're not a public figure and your interest in removing the article outweighs the general public's interest in accessing the information, the search engine is obliged to delete the links. Good luck with that.
Have you ever heard of trying to put toothpaste back in the tube?
Yeah, what's the genie's out of the bottle, right?
Yep.
The right to have a say when decisions are automated. Some organizations, such as banks, tax offices, and hospitals, use algorithms to make decisions about you using your personal data. I understand that. It's efficient for them, but not always transparent, and these decisions may affect you legally or have another significant impact on your life. Okay? applying for a loan, and we talked about this. If there is incorrect information, you apply for a loan with information data that does not pertain to you. What are you going to do?
Yep.
The right to move your data. Let's see here. If your data is used by a company after you gave your consent or signed the contract, then you ask for it to be returned to you or transmitted to another company whose services you would like to use. This is called the right to data portability. That's interesting. How is that going?
That is scary.
Yeah, well, because now you're just multiplying what your information is, right?
Mm-hmm. And if it's that portable for them to send to somebody else, how portable is it for somebody to get their hands on nefariously?
Portable data sharing, right.
Yep.
All right, so I want to read that. We got some information. The data lost or stolen. The rules make sure you are protected. Again, ostensibly, it sounds awesome. Think your data protection rights have been violated? Well, of course they have. That's why we're talking about this stuff.
That's why we're talking about this stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. Taxi firm lost your data. You book taxis via an app. The taxi company later suffers a massive data breach in which driver and user data is stolen. You can file a complaint. I'm sure that'll fix everything. Yeah. All right. And the EU's data protection rules gives you more control over your personal data, meaning you can shop, share, and surf with confidence. Check out your rights. Take control. And there's the website. Awesome. I think on the outset, it makes sense. Can you be totally secure and private? Like we say in New York, forget about it.
Forget about it. Yep.
Forget about it. And that's why we're ticked off at these tons and tons. Now, I suppose by law they have to send the emails out. And I think that law just kicked in this month or this week. Hence, they waited to the last minute.
The 25th.
Which means that between last year and now, let's have them break the law until the last minute.
Yep.
That's actually pretty slick, isn't it? From their point of view.
Well, you would have to look. I mean, this is European law, of course, but you'd have to look at the caveats of of everything. But so you kind of, you warned the teller at the bank before you went in to rob them. You sent them a letter 2 years in advance and said, I'm going to come in and take this from you. That doesn't make heck of a lot of sense.
I suppose when you give entities, companies, human being a chance to take advantage and make a huge profit, I don't know how much billions all this is worth. You think they're going to sit back and think, gee, I don't know. Should we do that? It's human nature. They're just going to do it and worry about the consequences later, right?
Well, isn't that where a lot of the things that have happened thus far with all of these data breaches, if I'm not mistaken, and don't roast me for this in the comments, but weren't in the case of the data breaches, weren't these specific areas in which the breaches occurred in one way, shape, or form known previously to the breach ever happening? I mean, we're not talking about, shoot a rocket to Mars type of science here. Yeah, there's a lot of technicalities behind it, but a lot of that stuff was known. And it wasn't a question of, it was never a question of if it was going to happen. It was a question of when it was going to happen.
Well, there was an issue, was it last year, with one of the big banks, and I could be wrong about the name of the bank, Wells Fargo or something, where the employees were...
it was Wells Fargo.
Okay. Well, they were signing up people for credit cards, insurance, without their knowledge.
Yep, opening accounts, the whole 9 yards.
All right. They got caught. The CEO was brought to Washington. I think he said, I was not aware of it. So you get paid to be incompetent. Can I have that job?
Yeah, and he got
You're the CEO.
And he got a huge ass. Sorry, he got a huge bonus. He got a huge bonus afterwards. Of millions of dollars, more than we would ever see in our life.
What other activity can you do? And when I say activity, marriage, a job, cutting your own grass. What other activity can you do so preposterously incompetently and still get paid handsomely for it. Think about that for a second. Companies file bankruptcy. Toys R Us goes under for various reasons. CEO gets a $13 million bonus.
Parachute.
I'm like, shouldn't he be paying us or them, the employees?
You'd
Right?
think so.
But that's the law. That's why there's a law for the certain 2% of the population. Then there's laws for the rest of us. And I think what's happening with this, data collectors, and not just data collectors, any big companies, they know they can get away with it because they can buy their way from going to jail. They can buy the laws. They can pay to be illegal. That's how I see it.
Impervious for sure, yeah.
Well, think about this. Now, I'm not saying this should be the law, but let's say, look what's happened with Wall Street the last 10 years and all the money, the trillions, all the shenanigans. What if there was a law saying, okay, you get caught doing what you're doing, automatic death penalty? Now, I'm not saying that should be the law, but let's say there was that kind of a crazy law. You get caught stealing, doing this, doing something that is inhuman, automatic death penalty. How fast would things stop like that?
Pretty dang quick.
Bam. Because if it's automatic, regardless of your status, you're not going to do it. It's that simple.
I think some of it is too is that, you take all the hype that the media throws on, say 7, 8, 9 years ago, when the whole financial crisis was kind of in the middle of it.
Right.
The hype the media throws onto it. And you see it on the evening news. Myself, I watch a lot of the financial news. Be it Bloomberg or Fox Business or CNBC.
Yeah.
The one thing that I see the media do is they tend to take away the aspect is that if somebody is doing something, let's just take money for instance.
Yeah.
If somebody is taking money and doing nefarious, illegal, terrible things with it, there's somebody losing some money somewhere. It's not a victimless crime. And so often when you watch all of these news stories, you start thinking sooner or later the connect comes and it's like, wait a sec, this, whatever his name was, who did the Ponzi scheme, Bernie, what was it? $100 billion or something crazy.
And that was peanuts compared to what the other guys did, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And it's like, okay, then after all the media hype of his trial and this and that and everything else, well then, when the court-appointed trustee goes after assets to try to recoup some of the money for the victims, you don't see that anywhere. You see a blurb about it here or there, specifically if you watch financial news. But as soon as he got sentenced and went to jail, and I think he got attacked in jail, I think he got beat up after he was there for a short bit, that hit the news.
Well, they caught a little fish, and they made an example. Not really.
No.
I did some research when this hit back in 07, 08, around that time, the mortgage scandals and these derivatives, the trading of the money and the stocks. I remember an expert supposedly trying to explain it. Even he was freaking confused because that's how BS it was. But these guys who got caught, and they admitted it, they avoided jail time because they signed DLAs, deferred litigation agreements.
Yep.
In a nutshell, my firm stole $500 billion through derivatives, manipulation, mortgages, people couldn't afford it. I get caught, I admit it, but I signed the DLA. You want to know what that means? Now, if you promise not to do it again, we'll let you off the hook. For Christ's sake.
Yep.
You know what that means? You can do it again, but don't get caught next time.
Don't get caught next time.
And I think what's happening with these data collections, where they are taking advantage, I think it's the same thing, sort of. And I think what the EU is trying to do with this GDPR law, I think it's admirable. I think it's a step in the right direction for the common good, and you got to start somewhere.
My
But
concern is that the
yeah,
rights, they say your rights. Okay,
right.
now Toss, you and I are in the US, and if we ever have a question about our rights,
Yeah,
we can get the
yeah,
Constitution out and we can
yeah.
read the Bill of Rights. We can read the first 10 amendments to the
Yes,
Constitution.
yeah, right, right,
Are we getting to a point that the more information aged centric our society is becoming,
right.
does there need to be another set or Bill of Rights or Constitution that outlines online, being, we have our world that we live in, but there's also this world that I'm in right now on this box with you on my screen. Does
Okay. Now, what you're saying has some value to it. Let me say this. I don't believe in religion, but I'm a big fan of the Bible. If that makes any sense.
it does?
All right. If everybody, and I mean everybody, from top to bottom, was to follow the Ten Commandments, one being do unto others as you would have them do unto you, there's your Bill of Rights. But we take those Ten Commandments and we obfuscate those or try to manipulate those laws, God's laws, to make it what's convenient for us. Not you and me, but for humans in general. But those Ten Commandments, they're brilliant. Think about it. Thou shalt not steal. Thou shalt not cheat on your wife. Thou shalt not treat someone the way you would not. This is just common sense. This is the common good. This is humanity. You don't need, quote, a Bill of Rights as a. No, I understand the importance of the Bill of Rights and the Constitution. And those are based somewhat on the Ten Commandments and the belief in God and all men are created equal. And that's great. But if everybody, and that includes the top 2% or whatever they are, now I'm not blaming them for being rich or God bless them.
Yep.
But money is a tool. And if you don't do something good with it, then what's the point? So, right, the golden rule, right? Text 13. He who has the gold makes the rules. That's what it seems to be.
That's what it seems to be many
Right. Now,
times.
not everybody's like that, okay? But when we watch the news, bad news is more profitable, as it were. It spreads more, it sells more. So for the most part, we hear mostly bad and not good, but there is good out there.
There is.
Tim and I were just talking off camera, off live. It was my son's graduation party yesterday, and about between 10 and 20 people didn't show up. It was the holiday, understandable. So it was the end of the party, and we had like 6 or 7 food trays, large tinfoil food trays left. So I was talking to my ex-wife, Kathy. She says, "Listen, we have all this food. Can you take this down to the shelter house downtown across the street from the church?" I did not hesitate for us. Absolutely, we did the right thing. We did the right thing. Again, it's one of God's laws, one of God's. Even if it wasn't God's laws, it's a cool 10 Commandments. It's not uncool to help someone. So, but not everybody follows that. And that's hence where we have the problem. It's like you were saying there should be a Bill of Rights for the internet. I don't know. What do you guys think here in the chat? And I don't mean to ignore you guys. I am looking at it. But this is a topic that's affecting all of us. I'm not the only one that's sick of the privacy emails because there is no privacy. Stop BSing me. I'd rather have an email says we are taking your data. There's not much you can do about it. The heck with you. And if you don't like it, get off the web. I would appreciate that email. That's an honest and open email.
Yep. Transparency in, transparency out.
Yeah, I'm not saying what they're doing is still correct, but at least you're telling me. You're not hiding behind this veil of, we're going to change privacy. I saw a commercial for Facebook, how they're changing their privacy policy. You want to know how you change Facebook? They should go bankrupt and get a new company take over. Start fresh, start with a clean slate, and then you have a slim chance of privacy. That's how you do it. I cracked a joke. It wasn't even a joke last month. We should start something called Family Book in competition to Facebook. and this venture would be funded by people like ourselves. No corporation, just normal people. And then you might have a slim chance of privacy. Slim. I'm just looking at the comments here. Gregory says, actually, my parents and I talk about when we might get off the web someday. Well, don't get entirely off the web, because then why am I here? I like talking to you guys, so maybe be picky and choosy about the web is probably a better tactic. Be selective of who you talk to. Be selective of what websites that you go to. And don't be afraid to, if something's uncool, delete that account. Just, I'm not going to go there. Like last December, Patreon tried to pull a fast one. They changed their mind, which is great, but I deleted Patreon because I didn't like what the way they were going, what they were doing. It was major uncool. And sure enough, a week later, we're sorry, we want you back. You were right. I said, no, I'm not going back, at least not now. So, but the point is, if you see something on the web that's not to your values, stop. I think DT stopped using Facebook and Twitter, right, DT? By the way, DT, I did join I can't even say, I almost said diarrhea. I did join Diaspora. I wish they would change their freaking name. But I couldn't log on. So I went to reset my password. It says my email doesn't exist, but I just got their email thanking me for joining them. So I don't know what's good. But now that's privacy. I like that privacy. Sorry, we know you joined, but you don't exist. You're out. Thank you, Diaspora. Oh, man. Dim your mic. There we go. Okay.
We forgot you the minute you signed up.
Yeah.
Now that is privacy. Yes.
Awesome. But I didn't mean that kind of privacy, Diaspora. But I am on Diaspora, DT, and I'm going to try and log on tonight or tomorrow, but it says I don't exist. I should be thanking them, I suppose. All right, let's catch up with the comments here real quick. I know a lot of you joined in as we were talking, and I don't mean to ignore everybody. All right, so I think Switch joined in. Welcome. This is what Tom Switch Linux has been saying. Yes, me and Tom kind of agree on what's going on, sort of. Actually, mostly, yeah. When senators can perform insider trading on the stock market, you know that laws do not apply. Yes, they can perform a version of insider trading. Now, I wasn't talking about fascism, no. Let's see here. People don't believe in a higher power anymore, so they just do whatever they feel like. Yes, that is true. Reminds you of high school students. If it isn't wrong, it isn't wrong if you don't get caught. Okay? All right. I mean, those switches in the house. I like that one. The golden rule: he who has the gold makes the rules. That's not always true. Have faith. The Bible isn't about religion, but that's my opinion. I agree. People confuse religion with the Bible. Totally agree. Is the Quran about religion? Well, it's their version of the Bible. I haven't read the Quran, but from what I understand, it's not bad. It's just how people sometimes interpret things. But I have not read the Quran. But I believe that is also based on peace and harmony and doing good things towards others, from what I understand. GDPR is impossible to follow, a way to hit anyone with a stick that they want. Well, Switch, well, you and I talked about it. You cannot delete yourself off the web. So what they are trying to do is admirable. And I guess you have to start somewhere. So I'm not condemning for what they're trying to do. But where does it go from here? I don't know.
It's a very admirable idea. I mean, but the thing is that as with any idea, you have to come up with the idea.
Yeah.
You have to find out how to effectively implement it.
Right.
And if you implement it and it affects company A, company B, company C, you have to get the buy-in from them to do what is right.
Mm-hmm.
It's seriously,
yes.
To me, it's never going to happen. It never will. The only way I have any guarantee of any privacy is I don't use one of these godforsaken machines.
Yeah.
And if I want to send somebody a correspondence, I sit down with a piece of paper, I write it out, and I put a stamp on it and mail it.
Uh, DT says should have started this stream. By the way, we've updated our privacy policy.
We have?
Uh, Good one, DT. Well, you know the privacy policy. We're all open to our opinions. Everybody's welcome here. Just keep it family friendly, and that's my privacy policy. If not, I'll call Uncle Guido in Sicily, and you won't have to worry about privacy policy anymore. Believe me.
Here comes the caddy.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Um, Switzerland, we can do a few things to minimize it. Yes, you should be selective, again, of the websites and what information. Look, if you have to think about posting something online like Facebook or Twitter, that usually means no, don't do it.
Don't do it.
Or edit it, or think about it, or forget about it. How does that sound? Anyone see Brian Lunduk video, Nothing Secure? Gregory, what was that about? I did not see it. I did not see that, no.
I think that one, I can't remember if that's a recent one or not.
Okay.
I remember seeing the title. I did not watch it. I'm not sure how old that was.
Okay, all right. Brian is dead now? Can you explain that, Sad Error? What exactly is going on?
No, I think Sad Air is talking about his move to take his content to Patreon.
Okay.
You know,
I don't have a problem with that. He's got to do what he has to do.
God bless him for doing it.
Yeah, I don't see a problem. Yeah. Let me go ahead and share the screen here for a little bit. Let me do that. Do this. Hang on a second. There we go. Is it working? There we go. There we go. Okay. True about the Quran. True about also most holy books. Okay. I agree, D84. The anti-Semite comments were uncalled for. From what Brian said, there were rather disgusting multiple comments into the hundreds, and that's why Brian had to disable comments, because of what he thought he had to do, what was good for him, and I don't blame him.
I can't. How could, very honestly,
Yeah.
how could any reasonable, common-sensed human being hold that against him?
Right.
And I'm not beating anybody up. I'm not taking anything away from anybody. But really, if you have common sense,
you know,
why would you disparage?
Right.
Why would you promote having people do that?
Right. I mean, here's Brian, who's been an advocate of Linux for as long as I can remember. You know,
close to 20 years, I think. Right.
I think so, because I've been doing it for about 12 years. Right. Yeah. So here's someone who's just about as transparent as there is, a transparent a person as there is. He explained it in deep detail, you know, what he had to do, and he's being condemned for it. I mean, Jesus, he's doing the opposite of what we're complaining about tonight. So I don't get that. Well, I guess I do in a way. It was called Nothing is Secure, We Are All Doomed. I'll have to take a look at that maybe tomorrow, Gregory. Thank you. Brian is up almost to 1,000 on his Patreon. Good look. Some of you, if not all of us, know the AdSense model has been broken for the last couple years. And, you know, I actually had a comment today, which was understandable. They said you're not doing enough Linux stuff or something like that. And one of the reasons why I don't, in terms of reviews and tutorials, because with this outdated equipment, to be honest, it just takes too long to edit, and that's not fun. It's just not, you know, I just don't enjoy it. And one of the reasons why I can't do it, because the AdSense revenue is not what it was. It's just that simple. But you know, Brian is trying to avoid that, and he's doing the right thing. So. Yes, Mark, it's we have covered pretty much. I would say so. It's just common sense, meaning, well, maybe we should change. It's just common good of man versus maybe the common sense. But common sense certainly is acceptable. But we should all do things, meaning every single human being should do what is for the common good. and then we wouldn't be talking about this. But we are flawed, and hence we are talking about this. By the way, Switch and DT, if you want to join, let me know. I'll send you an email. I'll stick around a little bit here. It's 10:45. But I just wanted to get that off my chest. I'm sick of the emails and the privacy policy. I know I'm not the only one. What the EDU is trying to do is admirable. I guess they have fined several companies a lot of money to make them, realize, hey, this is not going to go away with the policing of the data collection. I don't know, Tim. What do you think?
I think this entire thing is, I think it's a bunch of BS, to be quite frank with you.
Okay, fair enough.
I can understand. I can understand the idea of everybody has a different take on privacy, but I think all of us, generally being Linux users and understanding what happens on the other side of the fence with those other operating systems, we tend to take our privacy a little bit more seriously. And if we don't take it seriously, we're a lot more acknowledging of what privacy is.
Yeah.
For me, and I've said it before, I'll say it again, I use Gmail. I like the convenience of it. I've got an Android phone, but I know the sacrifices that I'm giving up. I understand that there's evils behind the convenience that I take part in, and I'm willing to give some of that up. But elsewhere within the electronic world, I'm very careful of what I look at and what I do. So far as the privacy goes, you know what?
Yeah.
I think coming up with this idea, it's got a lot of merit to it. I'm not trying to take anything away from the people that are trying to pull this together. In fact, I applaud them. The problem is, it ain't gonna happen. It just isn't. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and I'm not trying to put a crappy spin on this thing or prophesize that it's just a bunch of garbage. But you know what it is? It just is. It's
right.
We're not. It's really good. It's really good in theory, but nobody's going to practice it.
In theory.
Yep.
In theory. I don't know. I guess the worst thing to do is to do nothing. I don't know. What do you guys think in the chat?
I was just going to say something. DT said I can join for a bit if I can get Chromium to work. Might need to do what I suggested to Tim. DistroTube, I can't thank you enough. I know Vivaldi is not the true open source deal, but it works. Grab it.
Just use it. I'll send you an invite. Give me a second here, DT. Use it, works, man. No one's gonna condemn you for, Yeah.
Hi, Tom.
Hi. Your mic. Fix your mic.
How's that?
All right, there we go.
There he is.
Debian Cinnamon. Just had to go in and drop in the audio in the right spot.
All right, DT. Link is coming for DistroTube. Make sure you guys, if you haven't already, check out DT DistroTube and switched to Linux. I believe they still use Patreon, right? Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I will hopefully be launching my own personal site soon for support. It's between GDPR with myself and all my clients and the massive amount of content I need to upload over there. It's going lower than I'd like.
Okay.
There's an error loading the app. It appears to be something wrong with it.
You know what? We have 27 people watching this stream right now, and it looks like we're having a really good, engaging discussion.
A lot of people are concerned, fed up. What can we do?
I only see 7 thumbs up. Let's do Toss a favor and let's get some thumbs up on this, okay, guys?
Thumbs up for privacy. If you don't like me, that's cool, but thumbs up for privacy. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's new in Tom's world today?
Oh, not a whole ton. Just trying to get stuff caught up. I've had a bunch of clients myself asking me to help them get their sites GDRP. This is good for business, to be honest.
Oh, I bet. Yeah, I bet it is.
But I got to get all my stuff going first. Basically,
Yeah.
I'm developing a series of plugins that I can just drop into everybody's website. So I want to get them developed and tested on my own sites first. But so I mean, the stupid thing about it is that it's impossible to do mostly because of the cookie policy. If the cookie thing would go away, we'd be fine. My app keeps crashing, so I'm just going to keep going. You can still hear me?
Yep.
All right, good.
Yes, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I guess I just have to hit the X, and that's good. So the problem is that the cookie policy is like, well, you have to give somebody the explicit consent to opt into cookies, and if they don't want to accept the cookies, the site still has to work the same way. There is no way to just push a button and say, okay, we're going to accept Google Analytics cookies or not accept Google Analytics cookies. There is simply no way to do that. So you have to completely turn it off. Or it's just like, and that applies to everything in our modern world where every single thing uses cookies. That's really the biggest challenge in all of the laws. Everything else is don't be stupid with people's data, but you can't keep a bunch of stuff laying around. You can't keep piles of emails.
Yes,
that's really what it is. It is more anti-corporate. They're not going to go after small businesses as much unless they clearly, obviously do something stupid. But the problem is it's a big stick that they could beat anybody with if they wanted.
I caught something a couple mornings ago on my Alexa, strangely enough. The lady in charge of this overseas, I forget her name, but she's got like a $14 million budget trying to find companies worth many, many, many billions. God bless her if she could do something good with it. But probably, like I said, the worst thing to do is sit back and do nothing. That's probably just as much a sin.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know.
My stuff, I mean, the only thing I need to do at this point is I just need to go through emails, and anybody that's ever sent me something on a contact form that's not an active client, I need to delete the email. That's because I don't collect data.
And by the way, Steve, you spell forget about it wrong. It's not F-A-H. It's F-U-H, like, gotta. Look, it's a New York thing. What do you want me to tell you? But close, Steve, close. I'll give you a cookie if I had one.
I actually copied it and put it in a text document because
oh my God, okay.
My spelling is it's bad.
Well, you make sure you give your respects to the New Yorkers, okay?
So is Derek jumping on too or not?
DT is downloading Vivaldi.
Yeah,
that's
Tom. When I was on the stream last week, remember I was having a problem with the with Hangouts consistently crashing. In Chrome and Chromium, I could chat with only one other person, but as soon as I got on this, where there was more than me and one other, it would time out. The page will keep saying it was unresponsive. And DT, this for the heck of it, said, you know what, maybe try Vivaldi or something like that. So I downloaded Vivaldi. No issue whatsoever. Not one issue.
Firefox too?
You can't use Hangouts on Firefox.
Right.
Why is that?
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
It doesn't work.
Something about the plugins or something like that.
I don't use Hangouts much enough.
Yeah. I just use it out of convenience. I mean, it works. So
Vivaldi is based on the Blink engine, which is the same engine that Chrome and Chromium use. That's why I mentioned it to Tim.
Right.
Which is, I just installed it here in Manjaro, Vivaldi. I'm joining you guys in Vivaldi now, and you're right.
Working?
It just works.
Okay.
Yeah, it just works.
Yeah, look, I've said many times in the past, Linux can be predictably unpredictable. It's not necessarily a good or bad thing. It's just a matter of people like us, whatever, making adjustments along the way. And it shouldn't be, well, I'm only going to use open source. No, use what makes your life less miserable. That's what it should come down to.
There's no point in me trying to use an open source browser for this anyway, because I'm joining you on dual Hangouts already. I might as well just use whatever.
Which is, right, yeah.
Steve Gunnick just asked if I tried Internet Explorer. What the hell is Internet Explorer? Netscape. He asked if I tried Netscape.
Yeah, Netscape Navigator.
IE is called Edge now, right? I think it's not called
Microsoft Edge.
still in the system because too many government contracts rely on Internet Explorer. So if you have Windows 10, it's still there. It's just they've buried it. And that was an error that they did. Like Microsoft does this. I don't know who in the world is in their marketing or their product naming that needs fired, but they keep on naming things the same thing, right? So they have Internet Explorer, and in Windows 8, when they first released the app, they called the app and the program both Internet Explorer, and they were completely different applications. And they do the same with Outlook. Outlook is a web-based mail, and it is a client. Two completely separate things. Stop naming things the same thing.
Okay. All right.
Whatever happened to Netscape?
Netscape
got bought out,
Mozilla. No, it's closed down. It's Mozilla.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Firefox is basically the continuation of that project.
Yeah. So I did my OpenSUSE video complimenting yours, Derek. I went with GNOME instead of KDE.
Yeah.
Because you did KDE.
Yeah, their flagship edition used to be KDE, but now it seems like they just have two editions, GNOME and KDE, and they don't really promote one over the other. But used to be, OpenSUSE was always known as the KDE distro.
Yeah, I remember I did that. And actually, I ran an Enlightenment before, and that one kind of died out because I think they stopped supporting the Enlightenment desktop, and that kind of made the computer not able to update. So,
Derek, what problems were you having with Chromium? The same thing I was having last week?
Yeah, I've always had issues with Chromium. Sometimes it can be buggy. It seems like has some sluggishness. You know, things just don't. I don't know. Like the internet doesn't work right. Kind of like Tim was talking about the other day. I wasn't having it like the issues you had, where you were dropping. You know, but I could tell things don't work quite like they do in Firefox, which is what I normally use. So,
you know, we were talking about enough of the privacy emails, privacy policy. I found myself going so fast to delete those GDPR emails. I was deleting emails I wanted to read. I was just, I don't want to. Oh wait, I don't want to do that.
Actually, there's a better thing to do with those. What I've been doing is every single one that sends them, I'm replying and saying, I do not agree to your privacy policies. Delete my account.
Okay.
Because that's part of GDPR. Is if somebody says you must delete all my information, they have to delete all your information, or they're risking getting that big fine.
And is that working?
I don't know. I mean, it's
I guess we'll
better
find
than nothing.
Okay.
But it's better than all of these groups that I have never authorized them to have my email to begin with.
Well, it's another thing. I mean, you can't make somebody delete your account. I mean, even if they tell you they deleted it, how do you know?
Correct. But that's the thing in GDPR is if somebody says that you have to delete all their information, technically under the law, you have to delete all their information, which again, it goes back to that impossibility. That means you got to go wipe that out of their database. You got to go wipe it out.
What about all the backups?
Yeah, everything. Yeah. And it's like, it's an untenable thing.
No, there's no way. There's no way that can happen. There's no way you can just be deleted from everything.
Yeah, I mean, I got backups on top of backups on top of backups on top of backups in my office, and you better believe it. If you want me to go and delete all those, you're paying me a day's work because it's going to take me 8 hours.
Yeah.
Quick poll: is anybody here going to do what Tom just suggested? Just reply to every single privacy policy email. Actually, take the time. There's tons of them. Just out of curiosity.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't take the time to do all that.
Yeah.
It's a novel idea. I'm going to reply back to him and say, yeah. Throw my stuff in the rubbish bin, please.
Yep.
So far we got 2 no's, 1 yes.
Although if I was still a member of Facebook, luckily I got off of that train a while back. That would be a good way to get out of Facebook.
Yeah, there you go.
Right.
Since legally they have to delete you.
Yeah.
You know, some people have said it's a problem getting them to delete your account. Now there's actually a law basically stating they have to. So.
Mark Yates said he's going to go into certain companies online and make sure old accounts are deleted the old-fashioned way. The problem is that if you go to, say you have a Facebook account, right? And you ask them to delete it,
Yeah.
and you go to check to see if it's still active. The minute you log in, it reactivates your account automatically, doesn't it?
In theory, yeah. So, I mean, I keep on looking at my long list of things that I have passwords to, going, oh God, I mean, it wasn't things I wanted to, it's things I had to. You know, I had 2 different online accounts when I had a house because for some reason they couldn't figure out how to put a mortgage and a secondary on the same account at the same company.
Linux Laptop has a quick question. He says, can ChiMod change permissions of an entire hard drive? I believe you can.
Yes,
Can't
it
you?
can.
But
Yeah. Okay.
you have to be careful with that.
That way.
Yeah.
You can run a Linux installation. You don't want to change mod like the entire root directory recursively because you've just broken your install at that point.
That would definitely make you private because you couldn't use it anymore.
Yeah. I mean, I've done that once. That was a whoopsie.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, things will not work correctly anymore if you change the permissions of every single file on your system.
Yeah, I've never. Yeah, I would not do that personally. No.
Yeah, that's a bad idea.
DT, is your music available anywhere online? You mentioned you're a musician. He did his one rap song.
I should put some of it online. Yeah. Maybe I'll play some of it on a stream one day on my channel. I do have some recordings of myself playing.
Okay.
Trombone, piano, that sort of thing. Classical stuff.
He also has a killer rap video.
Yeah, the rap is not that great.
Well, it's better than what we can do.
Better than what I could do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Derek, you still looking for old hardware?
Yeah, I am.
I have that compact laptop made for Windows 98.
Really?
Yeah, you want it?
Yeah, I'll take it.
It needs a 2.5-inch IDE hard drive.
Awesome.
Hey, Derek,
what size drive is it?
Like how big is in it right now?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. It's broken. It won't boot for that reason.
Oh, okay.
I was looking, I was like, I could probably replace that. And it's like, I'm thinking about putting Windows 98 back on it because I actually have a lot of my old programs that I wrote on my calculator, which the only COM port system I have is a COM port. Basically, the old standard was a 9-pin COM port. Yeah. And I'm thinking, though, I could probably find one of those USB. I don't know.
I need to get that netbook. I need to get that netbook in your hands too, Derek.
You can probably get your now Tom's hardware is a little older. You know, it would be a challenge to get something up and running on that a little bit. But that netbook you had, I bet you can get that up and running, Tim. But if you want to send it my way, I can do something with it. You
know what? I invested about 15 minutes into it, and that's all I want to. That's all I want to spend in it. The only thing I'll do at this point is just get frustrated and pissed off, thinking I should be smart enough to be able to fix it. But
yeah,
that's what happens with a lot of hardware people, especially people that run Windows. You get a machine that gets 8-10 years old. Windows doesn't run correctly on it anymore. People just toss it.
Yeah. Also, I still have 32 gigabytes of DDR3 HyperX RAM I need to download too. If anybody knows of anyone needing that, online listing, whatever else, it's for sale, and I'll let it go for a fraction of its worth. I just want to sell it. I have a bunch of stuff that if it doesn't sell and get out of here by like June, I'm just going to throw it away.
Yeah. Now, I've tossed a lot of stuff over the years too. You just start collecting so much stuff you think you're going to do something with, and then you just got a bin of parts.
Some of it I don't care, but DDR3 HyperX RAM is good. Yeah. It's still really good.
Yeah. That's like I had somebody on my channel the other day mention he had some old machine like a IBM PS1 something another that like from early 90s. He wanted to know, could he get Linux running on that? And I was like, well, Linux really didn't even exist when that machine was made. Like, you're probably putting Windows 3.1 on that if you ever want to use it again. It was like I want to say it was a 386 processor. I don't think any Linux distro could support that.
Isn't there a puppy variant somewhere that
I think
maybe
so.
work on that?
Joe had mentioned I had written some down because I tried just downloading a recent puppy Linux and it would not work on that one I have. but Joe had given me some specific versions to look at, and I got the list around here somewhere.
You might could go back in their archives and do an older version of Puppy. The recent one on 1604 is probably too new.
Yeah. He actually knew of some specific ones to look at. I feel I still have them written down.
You know what? On these really old machines, though, you could always do something like FreeDOS, I guess, if you wanted to go that route.
Sky Bear this said something saying that he believes that HP Mini that I have has an Atom CPU, and you don't believe you can find a distro that will work on it. You know, I had a I think the second computer I installed Ubuntu on right prior to the switch to Unity had an Atom processor. It was a netbook, and I think it was an HP netbook, and I got Ubuntu to boot on it.
Atom, isn't that like from around 2005?
I think, yeah, late 2000s.
That should be all right. We can find something to run.
Yeah, I don't think that'd be a problem at all. I mean, I had like 30 of those I managed in a chemistry lab. That was a nightmare. It was right when those USB viruses were going around.
Yep.
God, I had 30 of these little netbooks. I actually have a picture of myself surrounded by 30 of them somewhere. After every class, I had to go through and wipe off the
I'm just doing a quick search on Google. Now, this may not be accurate information, but Linux distros for Atom processors, and I'm getting pages returned for Puppy, Lubuntu.
Okay.
Crunch Bang, that's a dead distro. But
somebody mentioned Sleetaz. I'm not familiar with Sleetaz.
yeah, I haven't used that one, but yeah, that'd probably be a good one for it.
Did you do a Google search on 386s?
No, but let me check that. I can't imagine there would be much out there for that, though.
For some reason, I think Puppy Linux has one. I remember watching a video probably 3 years ago. There was a person who had you know what? Maybe it was a 486.
Yeah, 486 processors. You won't find much that work on them. I think you can compile Gen 2 to work on those, but I'm not positive on that.
D8400 wants to know if Toss is fearful of mice.
I'm not a big fan of mice. But
yeah, he was asking some weird questions. He wanted to know were you scared of spiders. It was like the most random questions.
Yeah, of course, when I lived in Florida, I had 2 cats, so extracurricular critters wasn't a problem.
Are you afraid of alligators?
You should be. Yeah. Anything that is...
But you know, while we're throwing random stuff out there, Toss,
sure, go ahead. Yeah.
Do you like kettle corn?
I don't know.
Do you know what kettle corn is, Toss?
I've heard of it. It's a southern thing, right? I believe.
I don't know if
sort
it's
of.
really southern. We have it out here.
Yeah,
okay.
Not
Okay.
southern thing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So what exactly? I mean, I've heard of it, but I don't.
Popcorn that's with sugar on it.
Yeah, it's
that what it
essentially
is?
popcorn.
Okay. Okay.
But yeah, it's like a sweet and salty kind of.
I don't know if I've had that before, to be quite honest.
A friend of mine makes it quite a bit.
Okay.
It's
Here
good
we go
stuff.
back to food again, but that's
Anyway,
okay.
it was just a random thought, and we
Right.
always go back to food. I just wanted to throw that out there.
That's good. Yeah, I had a lot of good food yesterday for my son's graduation party. So, well, I installed Peppermint, but that's on a Pentium M, I believe. I think it's a single core Pentium, and that seems okay.
Yeah, the Atom processor.
I think
For
the
sure.
Pentium M came from the Atom, didn't it?
Is that what it was? I don't know.
Is that
Maybe.
is that an ARM processor? Is Atom an ARM?
I don't know.
I'm not sure on that actually.
I don't
I
know.
thought it was. But
Let's see.
maybe not.
I'm just gonna pull up Wikipedia and see. Oh my goodness, Wikipedia page is gigantic on Intel Atom. Do I really want to read this thing?
I'm going to post a link here about tonight's topic if you guys want to take a look at it. And you probably should, to find out what's going on from the from the EU
Alphabet Soup
GDPR.org.
Alphabet Soup blog. Blah.
Frostbite XZ. So on top of you guys getting the GDPR emails, yes, we all are, and
Yes.
we are pretty much all.
That's what
sick and
we
tired
started
of them.
off this stream all about, and I'm tired of it. It's annoying. I'm sick of it. I get what the EU is trying to do. Can't really blame them. Someone's got to start somewhere, do something, and but once again, Switch and I talked about this. It doesn't matter what you use, Linux, Windows, Mac, Chrome. You cannot delete yourself off the web, at least not completely. It's impossible.
I like what the law is trying to do. It's just written by a bunch of people that don't know anything about computers. This is like and like I said, the only thing that I really bothers me about it is the cookie stuff. It's like, dude, a cookie is managed on your browser. Set your browser. Why don't you just teach your citizens to set your browser to delete cookies when you close it?
Right.
That solves your problem.
Right.
Anyway, just a quick search here in Wikipedia. No, Adam, it's not ARM. It was a competitor to the ARM chip, though.
Okay. But yeah, as far as privacy, if you want total, complete privacy, stay off the web. But then don't do that, because then why are we here for? But just be selective. Who you talk to, where you go, what you post. And once again, if you're unsure about what to post, the answer is probably no. Don't do it. Or just think about it. So,
or just put a bunch of spin out there. Just 80% of everything you say. Just make sure it's all BS, and then it keeps companies like Facebook and Google that keeps them guessing. They don't know what.
So we should promote our own fake news and information.
Fake
right?
news. There
Why
you
not?
go.
Why not?
When talking about all this privacy stuff, you can't help but kind of think about the ownership of your identity. I wonder how long it's going to be before you go and create, a Facebook page, and instead of Tim, I put Bob Smith, and I operate a Facebook page under that. Can you get in trouble on it? I think you really can, per the user agreements, can't you? By using fictitious or
the user agreement is not legally binding. It's legally binding to the extent that they could kick you off, but it's not legally binding to the extent that you could be prosecuted. However, there is another law that you could, again, be prosecuted under because you are supplying false information over the internet. And that would count as cybercrime.
Oh, jeez. I try to start a fake email account.
Yeah. There's a way to beat anyone.
Yeah, but I'm laughing because the name was, I mean, it's late night. I guess I could say it, even though it's a fan. I was trying to use samsdong@gmail.com, and it was taken.
I did an experiment one time because I'm not much of a Facebook user, but people always talk about how they have these hundreds of friends or thousands of friends.
Yeah.
So I did an experiment. I created a fake Facebook account, a girl's name, and I put some really sexy pictures of some girl I found on the internet, and I got like 5,000 friends on this account within a couple of weeks. Just posting a few pictures and having a girl's name. People just request being your friend. I didn't even post anything.
Yeah, well, it's not just the girl with the seductive pictures, because that's exactly what happened.
It wasn't even like risque stuff. It was like some modeling poses or something. It wasn't anything crazy. But
I got risque stuff.
You could have used that to your advantage. Ask for money instead of Patreon. So you got to think, man. Think now, but.
No, that's going a little too far.
I
just wanted to see, because do people do this stuff in real life? I mean, if it's that easy, I'm sure a lot of people are creating Facebook accounts. So.
There was actually, I forget which country it is, but it's kind of funny because it was just in the thing today. There's a country, and it was like Austria or Australia or New Zealand. It's none of those, but it's one of those in that general area. They are planning, like they're looking at the possibility of banning Facebook in their country for a month to test and experiment with that while they roll out a replacement. And that's just like, sounds freaky because that's, a government-controlled Facebook replacement.
A state sponsored
Yeah,
replacement?
I'm gonna find the country.
Yeah, I'm sure that'll. By the way, DT, I signed up for Diaspora based on your advice to be a little bit more private. I went to log on today. I couldn't log on. I'm like, okay, well, let me just change my password. So I went to send a link to my email. They said that email account does not exist, even though they sent me an email on that account saying, welcome to Diaspora. Have you had any issues?
No, I was able to sign up, and I
Okay.
was up and running within a couple of minutes.
I could not. It's weird. Maybe I'll wait another day, but it's like, I mean, I know what my email is because you sent it to me, you know, but or
And
they
it
sent
could
it
be
to me.
the particular pod, the server that you signed up
Okay.
on. You know,
Okay.
there's a bunch of different Diaspora servers.
Okay. Maybe that.
You know which one you signed up at? It'll be the domain
I
name.
I think I chose pick the automatic one or something. I didn't
Oh,
know
okay.
what to. Yeah.
Well, you could be on some server that's run by like 30 people in Japan somewhere. And
Oh, geez. Okay.
All right, this is
Print-
Papua New
yeah.
Guinea. Papua New Guinea is looking to ban Facebook for a
Interesting.
month.
Of all places.
Yep.
I would have guessed Bangladesh. No, I would
Yeah,
not have
but they
guessed that.
said, quote, the time will allow information to be collected to identify users that hide behind fake accounts, users that upload pornographic images, users that post false and misleading information on Facebook to be filtered and removed. This will allow genuine people with real identities to use the social network responsibly.
Well, see, Linux users should have an exemption to that because we're all for security and privacy. But
yeah, that's all
yeah.
false anyway. There are no real users on Facebook. Even the real people that create accounts, they're not being real when they're on Facebook.
Princess Undertaker is in the house. That sounds like a wrestler. But welcome, Princess Undertaker. I think it's your first time. Welcome. Everybody say hello to Princess Undertaker.
Hello, Princess.
Great name.
Hello, Princess.
Undertaker.
Undertaker.
This sounds like a wrestling guy, but
I just said hello, Princess, and my wife kind of gave me a look.
What? What are you doing? You talking to Toss?
Tim, please, not tonight.
Well, you did make those pink shirts, right?
I do have a couple pink shirts, yes.
I think I have pink shirts. I'm pretty sure I do.
Yeah. Well, I used to live in Florida, so but men's pink shirts, men's pink. Facebook does not let you use your nickname. Okay.
Yeah, that's one of the complaints that Richard Stallman has about things like Facebook is they require you to use a real identity. You can't be anonymous on it.
Mm-hmm. And I don't see any reason why any of these tech companies need your birth date.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, they want to verify how old you are, but they could just, are you 13 or older? Yes, I am. That should be enough.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if it's something with a financial type backing. Even then, what's frightening me right now with PayPal is looking at it's becoming more and more like a privatized bank. That parts of it are even now gaining bank-like status, even though still it's technically not a bank.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, PayPal's kind of been that way from the beginning. They've really
I only use it for my channel. I mean, I use it personally. Never had an issue. So
and I haven't either. It's just as I'm getting ready to launch my own system, I'm not relying exclusively on PayPal. There's too many issues with doing that. Yep. But none of them are really good,
No, I mean, Patreon has its issues. I use it. PayPal. I've used PayPal for 20 years, but is it the best? No. I mean,
how's LibrePay?
I just signed up for it just a few days ago. Okay. All I know is basically people can donate to you through it, just like they do Patreon, but they can do it anonymously if they choose.
Can they fund their account with like cryptocurrency?
I believe. Let me double check.
I think PayPal is anonymous too, isn't it?
I believe that is how they do the anonymous payment. I believe you can do. Yeah.
I think PayPal. PayPal, I think, has an option where you can do
that. You get information from them. In fact, I think you get information.
I mean, I thank contributors by email unless they say, please don't say my name live, and sometimes I'll do. But I always send an email. But it's not. I don't think it's as open as Patreon, is it?
So LibrePay does not accept cryptocurrencies. So they do allow for anonymous donations, but they don't do cryptocurrency. So no Bitcoin.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
but people have requested them to add that eventually. I don't know if they will.
Yeah, I was thinking about putting that in my system as well because I know people that would like to donate anonymously, and that's it's avenues.
Well, I know, Richard Stallman and the Free Software Foundation, they hate Patreon because of the same reason they hate Facebook. You can't be anonymous on it. So there are some of those types that have contacted me saying they'd like to make a donation to my channel, but they won't use Patreon, which I admire. Anybody that wants to be principled like that, I have no problem with that. So I'm trying to give those people another avenue to make a donation if they wish.
Yeah, and I'll go ahead and another way. I'm not sure if you're doing it, but I know me and Toss are Amazon affiliates. In fact, Toss, I just bought a couple $100 of things on your associates account yesterday.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, as far as I know, they don't.
And that is anonymous.
Yeah, as far as I know,
anonymous.
Right.
You can't. I mean, I can see what products somebody buys, but I can't.
Yeah, in fact, when I look at the sheet, it doesn't say, right. I don't think it does. It just has a monthly count on it. Or
I've thought about adding Amazon. As a matter of fact, I think I have an Amazon associate account anyway because I've used it before on websites.
Well, if you haven't used it in a while, though, it's probably been killed.
Yeah.
Let's see. Bunch of nice Linux users here. We don't bite. Roof.
Yes,
no, we do not bite.
We bark. At least I do.
Well, we speak our mind. We bark, but we don't bite. Yes.
Do not watch a Switch to Linux stream as you're falling asleep, because inevitably,
as soon as you doze off, you'll go on fire. I'll be like, and that's why I don't want you. Whoa.
And you will wake up and look at the screen.
And then the Russian guy comes in. I will break Switch to Linux. I will kill American Linux.
Yep.
Tom,
has he been knocking on your door lately, or have you calmed down?
No, Tom, I haven't for a while.
Okay.
Tom, you have great content, but you scare the crap out of me sometimes.
It's almost like Spatry Part 2 sometimes, and when he gets into that,
Oh, great. There goes the money.
Demonetized.
Oh, great. We were on a roll. We were on a roll, man. There goes demonetized,
I don't know. You moved pretty quick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we didn't say what it was.
Looked like a Glock. What was that, Tom?
Do we want to mention it?
Put that thing away, Tom.
I better not say it over the air. Huh? Just put it in the chat.
Let's do.
It was his Patreon incentive tool.
Oh yeah.
Bada bing. Oh man.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, we're just sharing code. We're sharing this in private.
Oh, got it.
I'll be there with a 9mm.
That's like a few minutes ago. I got a comment on my channel. I did a video about the Tails Linux distro and the Tor browser and the dark web, and people wondered why people would go on there and order things like AK-47s and cocaine online. Who would be so dumb to order stuff like that and have it delivered to their house? And I replied to him, "You're right. I mean, I could go down to the local gun shop and buy an AK-47 right now, and on my way home, if I was walking, I could ask a couple of people on my way home, where can I score some drugs, and I can get some."
I need to pick up a few loads, man. God. There was a news and nonsense thing where some guy called the police to report somebody stole his cocaine or something. I can't make this stuff up, man.
This is really funny. When I went to school for law enforcement in the early 90s, made a career move before I graduated. And we would, I and some other students would get together and we'd go to the range, 2, 3, 4 times a week. And we would always look for stupid criminal stories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And in Minneapolis, there was a drug dealer that went to a very, very nice hotel in downtown Minneapolis. And he handcuffed a briefcase with like $35,000 in it to the steering wheel. He went into the hotel, the hotel, came out to the parking ramp. Somebody busted the window on his like $45,000. I think he had a Porsche of some type, $45,000 or $50,000 car. Broke the window, stole the briefcase, and what does he do? He called the cops.
Yeah.
So the way the story went is the cop is interviewing the drug dealer, and he says, "Okay, Mr. Drug Dealer, you are claiming that $30,000 or whatever dollars got stolen out of your $60,000 automobile. You have no verifiable address, and you do not have any verifiable employment. Hands against the car, please." So, yeah,
Yeah.
criminals are dumb.
Yeah. Well, he may not go to jail over that, but they're going to take all his money because he claims he doesn't have a job and he has a large amount of cash on him. They're going to confiscate it. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever happened though to innocent until proven guilty?
Yeah.
How does he know his dad didn't just give him that to buy a new car or buy a house?
Well,
Yep, very true.
Yeah, he would have to have somebody else claim they gave him that money.
Verify,
and
I suppose.
they better have a job. And,
Yeah.
they're going to track it down. Yeah. But anytime you're caught with a large amount of money, you've got to explain it. And that's just anybody in life.
Yeah, nowadays, yeah.
Yeah. No, because nobody carries around large amounts of cash unless you're.
Yes.
Nobody carries around small amounts of cash either.
Yeah.
I feel
all
so odd at
cards.
the grocery store. It's like,
It's
what
all
is
cards.
this stuff?
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
I
if
just
you've got
can't justify
$40,000 and it's all in fives and tens, they're going to wonder what
There's
are you doing?
there's a question there. Yeah, there's a question there. Wasn't there a story in mainstream media lately that somebody went into a grocery store or an establishment of some type and tried to use $2 bills, and the person behind the counter called the cops on them because they thought it was counterfeit
I remember.
money?
I remember hearing a story. I'm not sure if it's a true one or not.
Yeah, that's
Well, here's
kinda
another
strange.
thing I just thought of. If you want to remain more private, don't use credit cards. Use cash.
Well, yeah, that's again getting back to some of the Free
Right.
Software Foundation and Richard Stallman. They hate credit cards because everything you do is recorded.
They can track
Yep.
you, yeah.
Pay
Realize
cash
that-
for everything. Yep.
Google and Facebook, those two, because of the large advertising networks, even if it's an offline purchase, walk into the grocery store and pay with your credit card, Google still gets that information with their deals with the credit card companies.
Yep.
I'm just catching this GDPR news. GDPR was just the beginning. The next big fight in data protection is e-privacy. I don't know what that is. I'll have to research that. E-privacy.
Yeah, they're
Whatever.
working on another one. I do not get a chance to read that either.
Okay.
But that's kind of the next thing down the
That's
line.
interesting, yeah.
I saw some more tinfoil hatty ones. It's like this is just a test for one world government stuff.
Yeah, Gregory wants to know, can he send you some cash, Toss? To
I think
remain
cash.
anonymous.
There was
Yeah.
actually a fun possible way, and I'm not sure how viable this is or not, or if this would be a good idea or not. But you could use those Amazon gift cards, and
Yeah, I've
you
thought
could
about
probably put your UPC code. Somebody prints that code up, they can go to a local Sheetz or CVS or wherever participates, scan that card
Yeah.
and give the cashier cash.
Yep.
I mean, it wouldn't be cash directly to you, but it funds an Amazon account.
Right. Yeah, I've thought about doing something with the Amazon gift cards.
Yeah,
Here's
and
a
actually
headline
a
here.
lot of
Yeah.
there's influencers that do it that way.
Yeah.
There's a headline here. No one's ready for GDPR. I'm not sure how you get ready for it. It's privacy on the web, which doesn't exist. There's nothing to get ready for. It's just the way it is.
If you're on the web, we're already there. So
Yeah,
nothing-
get ready
nothing
for
to
what?
prepare for.
Yeah,
Well, what
right.
that particular article is talking about is the companies, the data plans. Like in theory, if somebody were to walk up to you and say, "I need to see your policy on it," if you're a business person, you are supposed to have a policy for them to see. You're supposed to be able to show them the data that you have in a very short period of time. There's a whole series of things you need to do. That's what they're talking about. Is the company ready to comply with the law or not? That's what the article's talking about.
Yeah, but what are the checks and balances? How are we going to get these companies to comply with these laws?
Here's a late-breaking blog here. Sorry.
It's a big stick.
Yeah. Title here says GDPR China and data sovereignty are ultimately wins for Amazon and Google. How?
Wait, say that again.
GDPR, China and data sovereignty are ultimately wins for Amazon and Google. How is that going to work?
How could that work?
We are just starting to build and understand who are the winners and losers. Let me read this real quick here. Potentially threatening profits.
I mean, Amazon and Google are already winning. We're going to
yeah, I get. Well, it seems to me they're going to be fine because they'll adjust. So it's their game anyway. So yeah.
It's like Facebook. Facebook isn't getting hurt over this. I mean, they got so much money. I mean,
right. I mentioned before there was a commercial to there for Facebook making things more family friendlier and private. I'm like, will you stop it? Just stop it.
I predict one day Facebook is going to pivot a little bit, kind of like Microsoft has done, embracing Linux and open source. Facebook is going to pivot eventually and embrace some privacy stuff. They're going to at least put the facade out there that they want to take that stuff more seriously, but you can't trust them.
Our GDPR is affecting the games you love. Okay. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I guess it all depends just how strict they're going to be and how the companies are going to react. That's what it comes down to. So.
One of the fun things I'm wondering is how does the compliance go if I put a big ol' annoying banner at the top of my site saying, this website is only intended for people outside the EU. If you click beyond this, you agree that you don't care. Because I can imagine at least where it comes to U.S. law having that type of thing, and they want to come after me, and I just tell U.S. governments like, hey, this government's trying to extract money from me, and I've already made it clear that my site is not intended for anybody over there. But just like an over 18 site's not intended for somebody under 18, they can still get in.
Right.
Whose problem is that? Well, according to United States law, it's not the website's problem because they put up a disclaimer.
Yeah. But they would probably want you to block your website from even being accessed from other countries. That's the thing.
Yeah, maybe, but here's the thing. If I say, okay, by clicking beyond this window, you agree that you are either not a EU citizen or you agree not to be bound by that. I mean, it's because it's like you can't go any further without explicitly acknowledging this. That's the thing that needs to be tested yet.
Yeah. And of course, there's a lot of the web that is just outside of anybody's regulation. I mean, think about things on the dark web. Think about, all these hidden websites that, who knows where they're hosted? Who knows who even owns these things? How's anybody going to go after these people?
Well, right. Again, and where is the enforcement and how? I'm just reading something
it's
here.
Impossible. It's impossible.
Dozens of websites shut down their activities completely. Others forced users to agree to new terms of service. Inboxes have been flooded with emails. Yep. So this came into full force Friday, which would have been last Friday. Okay. That's hence why you got flooded. Yeah.
And one poor company had to shut down its smart light bulb department, which raised some interesting questions.
Oh.
What data was my light bulb collecting on me?
Smart light bulb. Oh God, it never ends.
So this is funny. Okay, I'm reading the my next outdoor philosophy is a Neil Postman book, right?
Yeah.
And it is Building a Bridge to the 18th Century, and I'm reading the chapter on technology right now, and I literally think the guy picked the most absurd thing he could possibly think of to say. He's been using the analogy all through the technology chapter about talking to a doorknob. And for crying out loud, we have doorknobs you can talk to now. I'm thinking he just picked the most absurd thing ever, and we have it.
It's like that saying, boy, he's as dumb as a doorknob. No, he's as smart as a doorknob nowadays, or something like that. Or a doornail or something, yeah. Unbelievable, man.
Smart light bulbs and smart doorknobs.
Yeah, it's... and he raises fun questions. I guess that's almost a month out. So,
Frostbite, yeah, you can join the stream. I'll stick around for a little bit longer. He has joined us before, so yeah, give me a second, but I'll send you the link. All right, there you go. Yeah, we are open here. We're not trying to hide anything or take anything. So, imagine that. A community that shares everything, transparent about everything. Well, not
We're not
personal
hiding
life.
behind anything here.
Nope.
Yeah, we're hiding behind clothes, and we all
Right.
appreciate it.
Oh, speaking of hiding, Switch, I don't know if you saw the highlight of the last show we did about Linux privacy. It was me, you, Tux Digital. I think Tim was on. But you were, as we were talking, you had like a spare computer like underneath your table.
Yeah,
You were fixing something.
I was
Right.
building this.
Okay.
was
Well, the
installing-
mic, the mic was still picking up your sounds from the, whatever you're doing.
Yeah.
But it couldn't see you. So when I edited part 2 of the video, Michael's talking, so then it cuts to you, back to Michael, back to you, and then I added in the graphic. See, Switch is so paranoid about privacy, is hiding. And then we cut back to Michael. I thought it was a good one, but
Oh, that was the night he was trying to install carpet in his office. without
or
taking
something.
furniture
Anyway,
out.
the
Yeah.
mic picks up the sound. So Michael's talking, and then the camera cuts back to Switch, who can't see him. So I said, he's just paranoid. Don't mind him,
Yeah.
But anyway,
Steve Gunnick said, I love my smart door lock. It's super convenient. Steve, you know what? It's the reason I use Gmail and some select Google services.
okay.
It's convenient.
I absolutely love what the tech can do. I just don't like the fact that every time you do that, it's got to ping through Google servers and whoever servers that owns it. And it risks the thing shutting down if the server goes down. There's a lot of challenges. I love what the tech can do. I just hate the fact that they're exploiting it to gather all the stuff.
Forget about it. You spelled it right. Yay! Steve Gunnick. All right. I'll give you an A.
Steve this said, I don't have to give my kids or mom a key, just a code. Well, then if you get sick of your mom or the kids, you just change the code for a couple of hours.
Beep, beep, beep. That's right. I used to have a keypad.
No Windows for Fun Linux laptop. Well, that's one way to be a little bit more secure. But as far as privacy goes, once you get on the web, it won't matter. Yeah.
See, Apple is teaming up with Volkswagen, I think, to make cars. So do you think those cars are going to have windows?
Well,
Oh
they
my
gotta have
goodness.
those kind of windows.
Greetings. Hello.
What's up, Frostbite? Princess Undertaker, you want to join? You're a friend of Frostbite. Is that true, Frostbite? Frostbite, you there? He's muted.
False audio.
Oh.
There it is.
I don't know why.
Yeah, she's a friend of mine.
I just gotta.
I'm sorry, say again, Frostbite? And we lost you again.
Okay. You got to watch those pulse audio updates. Sometimes they break things.
Sometimes.
Can't hear you, Frostbite, yeah.
Yeah, they
There you
do. Right.
Anyway, your friend wants to join. It's
Does.
just... What?
He say he's on Windows. Well, it's not a pulse audio problem.
No. You're cutting in and out.
Yeah, I'm on Windows, right?
You on Windows, really?
Network
You haven't- Oh,
problem.
network problems. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Is Princess a friend of yours?
Yeah.
Is
I
it
mean,
cool for... Yeah.
Yeah. The network.
Princess, send me an email. TotalOSToday1@gmail.com. If you
Yeah,
want to
she's a
join.
friend of mine.
Okay, Princess, you can join. It's TotalOS. Here, let me just type it in the thing.
Great. Yeah.
What time is it? 11:39. Okay. Send me an email there, and
For about 20 minutes, I want to jump off.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah. I gotta try and finish
We probably all
cutting
need
my
to
grass.
get to bed. Yeah.
But
No, it's still early for me, but I want to run tonight.
I have to get off. I have to get off of the computer at 10:59 Central because Superwife has a TV show that she wants to watch, and she doesn't want to listen to my big mouth.
Ah,
Very
okay.
cool.
Don't worry, just you be
A
quiet and I'll start
special
streaming.
TV show, huh? I wonder
Yeah,
what it
what's the
is.
TV show you're watching tonight, honey? Okay, the name of the TV show is called Our Wild Life, and it deals with a family who has a bunch of animals living in the house with them.
Wild Wildlife, that's right here. That's us. No,
Are
never
they
mind.
my mother's neighbors?
Hello, TSM. Welcome. Yeah, tonight's topic has been off and on about enough of the privacy policy emails because of the GDPR that you may have gotten. If not, you will. Princess, just send your email. I'll just send you the link to join. You don't have to send. Just send it to me.
There are a lot of people.
Yeah.
I'm going to give one more shout out here. We got 31 people watching the stream, and we only have 26 thumbs up.
Come on. Give
Come
it
on,
up.
guys. Give it up.
Like
I get mine.
We need
I get
that
mine.
like spike.
Don't forget to check out Switch to Linux and DistroTube. If you haven't already, subscribe to them, and you can support them on Patreon.
Yeah, checking out the chat, Stephen Gunnick has mentioned he had some problems with Manjaro, that he installed it, and then when he went to reboot it, it went straight to a TTY prompt. A lot of times that's going to be a problem with Xorg or a problem with the login manager, maybe LightDM is not configured correctly.
Wow.
Did you
Actually, they
see Steve
switched from
Gunnick's
live
reply,
DM.
Tim?
Yeah, I thought you said Wild
They
Wild
switched from
Wife.
live DM.
So, Wild Wild Life.
This sounds like a TV show.
What's the name of this damn show? Our Wild Life.
Ah.
Yeah.
But if you
Starring
ever
in Wild Wild Wife.
I've had this come up a couple
Yeah.
of times here recently. You guys, if you ever reboot your computer and you just get a command prompt, I've had several people tell me that they just immediately start formatting the drive and distro hopping or reinstalling. Sometimes these fixes are just a couple of minutes. Like I had a guy email me, he said he installed a new NVIDIA driver, rebooted his machine. He got the prompt, because he installed the wrong NVIDIA driver. Well,
Oops.
if he's at the prompt, all he had to do was remove the NVIDIA driver he installed, reinstall the Nuvo, the open source driver,
Mm-hmm.
and his machine works again.
Okay.
But he didn't think to do that. He freaked out because it's just a black screen. It's
Ah.
broke. Let me reinstall something else. So don't immediately start reformatting the drive just because you got a command prompt.
Well, if you don't have enough experience, you can't
Yeah.
blame the person, really.
Right.
Yeah.
And I've been there, starting out too. You get to a black screen, you think, well, this is the worst thing in the world. A lot of times,
Wow.
within a few minutes, you'll be back up and running.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hello.
I mean, since some people say,
Princess, hi.
see the black next screen, it's like, boom.
Hi,
They'll freak
Hey
out.
there. Hello.
how are y'all
Um,
today?
Good.
How are you?
I'm good.
good.
Alright.
Just a minute, my headset beeped at me.
She uses a wireless headset.
Okay.
Yeah,
Battery must be going low on it.
There
yeah.
we go. Okay.
Yeah.
I have a wireless headset.
Okay.
The Logitech.
Okay. Logitech's good. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I love Logitech.
Good. It's pretty good. Yeah, I use Logitech cams. I think Switch and DT use Logitech products too,
Yep.
right?
I got
I use a Logitech mouse, keyboard, camera.
Mm. Okay.
Logitech everything.
I think all my mice except I have one Microsoft mouse. I think the rest of them are all Logitech. If
Okay.
you've ever seen my desk, that's a lot of
I
mice.
have a Logitech mouse, keyboard, and the headset.
They just work. Yeah, I mean that's why they sell lots of products. Logitech stuff. But yeah, I have a headset. I think I may have the one that you're wearing. I don't wear it as much because it's kind of heavy. After like an hour of talk, it gets kind of heavy in my ear. That's why I wear this mono, which is fine. But Logitech makes great products.
I like this one because when it's not charging, I can walk around my house and still hear my computer.
Nice. Mark Gates uses
it-
Logitech. Good.
And anyways,
yeah.
I wanted to tell you about my name.
Hmm.
My Princess Undertaker is a nickname that I made up.
Okay.
I'm
It
not
sounds like one of
really-
those wrestling, matches between it, but that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm a totally a fan of Undertaker.
She's been a fan of it for like generations.
Okay.
No, I don't get it. People get all these really neat nicknames. You know what my nickname was when I was a kid? Buford.
Just Buford.
Buford.
Okay.
Buford.
I tell you where I saw funny names was playing Halo. Mr. Poopy Pants was one of them. I mean, there were so many.
Oh yeah, gaming. You get a
Oh,
lot of
man.
Oh man, yeah.
I love Halo. I love
There we
that.
go. Another
I
Halo
love it.
fan. Yeah.
Do
But,
any of you guys want to hit me up on Steam? My Steam username is Uniboner.
Hey, I have Steam. Holy shit!
Dude,
Well, I played the
well, we're
trombone.
demonetized anyway tonight, so what
We're
the heck?
done.
Yeah.
we're done.
Yeah.
Oh,
Tosser,
monetization.
YouTube's gonna want money out of you to put this thing
Well,
up.
you guys remember way
I'm gonna have
back
to
in the
pay
day.
YouTube
Oh,
to.
no.
Yeah.
We've had far worse ones.
Hey, Derek, I
Well,
have
another
Steam.
Halo gamer tag was Butternuts. But that sounds like. Like I said, honey nuts is butternuts. We like roasted nuts.
Well, we were talking-
Easy.
We were talking about kettle corn earlier, right?
Right, so we're on the same. Yeah, so
Yeah.
We always end up back on food.
right.
I have Steam
if we ain't
too.
talking about food,
Yeah.
Usually about food.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there, between Linux and security and kettle corn. Hey, it all.
Anyways, yeah, I do stream on Twitch, and I use what I call the OBS.
Okay. OBS is good. Sure.
Yeah, Frostbite helped me set it up
Okay.
and stuff.
Cool.
Cool.
Frostbite is my computer guy.
Cool.
yeah.
Before we get to the end of the night, we really should get on food because we haven't done much food tonight. So I want your thoughts. Everybody in the chat here, hummus, yay or nay? I love it.
Yeah.
You don't like hummus?
Nah.
It's going big. It's what you should invest all your money in.
Nah. Hummus and Italiano, man. I don't think so, man. No. No.
Nope.
Not a big fan personally.
No.
I could eat it
Just
for
have me
every
that mayo.
What about since we're doing exotic foods? Anybody here like calamari?
Yeah.
Yes.
Ew!
Squid. Okay.
Squid.
Okay.
I made an ice cream the other day that a couple people said was the best ice cream I think I've ever made, and it was dangerous, particularly since it had like 3 times as much sugar as regular ice cream.
I thought for a second you were going to say it's calamari ice cream. Or I said,
No.
I was waiting.
Chocolate.
That's what I was waiting for. Yeah.
Yeah, calamari ice cream. There you go. Now chocolate. I did chocolate caramel, homemade chocolate ice cream with homemade caramel sauce in it, and it was dangerous. So if I die of diabetes tomorrow, that's why.
If you don't see Switch doing any videos for the next week or so, you'll know why. He's in the hospital,
He's
getting his sugar siphoned out of his.
He has
I'm gonna watch
new
a movie tonight.
he has new channel sponsorship. What are one of the popular diabetic drugs?
Yeah.
Okay, here's one. How about Thai food?
Thai food.
Thai food.
Thai food? Yeah, I like Thai food. I like
Thai's
a lot of
okay.
spicy food, so I'm good with.
There we go.
I'm pretty much good with anything.
The next food channel sponsored by Contour Next.
I love Thai food. I love Indian food. Vietnamese.
Has anybody
anything.
seen this movie?
Dances
Yeah,
with
yes.
Wolves. Yeah, that's Kevin Costner. Yeah.
I think everybody's seen that one. Yeah, Dances with Wolves. That's a classic.
Oh,
Horseradish and jelly sandwiches, TSM? Really?
Fantastic soundtrack too on Dances with Wolves.
Okay.
You know,
Oh,
TSM. I went to a
Actually,
local
I haven't
establishment
heard-
the other night.
I haven't heard the soundtrack.
Yeah.
Um,
I'll probably look it up on YouTube. Or what I do, I just do just as a little soundtrack, and then it will pop up.
Yeah, it'll be a classical music score.
Yeah.
I forget who wrote it.
Mhm.
It'll come to me in a minute. He was a big name back in the early '90s, late '80s, early '90s.
Yes.
Hey, I think I know what you're talking about.
Mhm.
Damn it, I forgot the name.
TSM said horseradish and jelly sandwiches.
I know.
Yeah, that's
I
not.
went
I know who
Sorry.
you're talking
Yeah.
about, though.
I'm adventurous, but not like that. Yeah.
You know, I went to a local establishment the other night, and I had a hamburger, a bacon cheeseburger, so a 3rd-pound
Nice.
burger, bacon, cheddar cheese, and peanut butter and jelly on a brioche. I think it was a brioche bun,
Okay.
That's not
and it
bad.
was really good.
That sounds
But it was
good.
the problem was it's one of those hamburgers that once you take a bite of it, you're committed to eating the entire thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Because if
yeah.
you set it down,
Right.
it's all over the place.
Right, right.
You guys,
All right.
you
It's like
Yeah.
you guys know Bob Barker, right?
Bob
Who?
Barker?
Yeah.
yeah, from Price's Right.
Mhm.
Right.
Well, I found his book.
Oh, cool. Okay.
I found it at the library,
Cool.
at my local library.
Yeah, he was on the show, God, 30 years or something. He was like a staple of that show, Price is Right.
He was
Yep.
big.
I think we should try to get him on this show,
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Oh,
but he'll have to close. He'll have to close every stream with. Don't forget to get your pets.
He can call it the Colonel is right or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't forget to get your pets spayed or neutered.
Yes, that was him. Yeah.
Yeah,
All right, I want to
was
give
that.
it's about 10 till we wrap this up, 10 till midnight, so we're going to make this 9 minutes to go. Last call for questions, comments, or shout outs. Now's your chance. You got 9 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up at midnight.
This
So.
kitty right here has been taken care of.
Oh, kitty. There we go.
Oh,
I
you
had to bring the
guys.
showstopper on because he hasn't been
See,
on yet.
We should have sponsorships, Switch. We should have sponsorships from Purina, Logitech.
I
what was the other one?
I
Yeah,
should,
yeah.
I should get a hold of them. Like, these ones I have the whisper.
Oh,
What's your cat's name?
This one's CJ.
CJ?
Yep, CJ.
Ah.
Tom, I'll put- Tom, I'll put 10 bucks on the butt.
For you.
Oh, it's a puppy.
There's
Kitty, look at the puppy. Look at the puppy.
Radio.
I should go get my cat and bring him in one day.
There you go. I have
never allow
my
him
little
on my
fake
streams.
pet raccoon.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
don't
yours
have.
is not
I
Like a
used to have a
man.
cat, but I don't have a cat anymore. And frostbite can tell you what happened.
Yeah, she had to give up her cat due to her landlord.
That's always a bad deal.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's a very bad deal there, Tim.
I had to do it because I can't afford to look somewhere else, man. I can't. I lived in this apartment for 6 years now.
Hmm.
Going on no 6. Sorry, I was going to say going on 7. No. That's next year.
Robert likes salami and bologna. So do I.
Yeah, I like salami.
Capicola. Yeah.
Bologna, I
I like the
Salami's great,
jalapeno
though.
bologna. I'll make a quick simple jalapeno bologna, and yeah, it's not bad.
I like
Some mustard.
I
How
like
about
macaroni
liverwurst?
and cheese.
Hmm.
How about
Yeah.
liverwurst sandwiches?
Yeah, not bad. How about corned beef? Love corned beef.
Oh yeah.
Beef.
Actually,
Ooh,
pastrami.
yeah.
Pastrami.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Pastrami.
Turkey pastrami. Ooh, it's great. Yeah. Capicola, the one that melts in your mouth. It's like $20 a pound or something. Oh my god.
Man,
Well,
now
the
I'm
ones
getting-
you buy, I buy the cheap Capicola.
Well, it is. I mean, I buy once in a blue moon, but man, the taste is just that's exquisite.
Why is it every time I get off the stream, I go and dig in the ice box?
Probably because you're hungry.
Linux and food. You know.
Hey Tom, do you have a
Let's
video
go,
up on your
Nate.
food channel how to make the homemade Cheez-Its?
Ooh.
I do not believe so, but it's very easy. You start with the recipe that I have. Watch my taco one. use the flour tortilla recipe,
Okay.
and you mix in with the flour tortilla for like a single thing, so like the half cup base. You use half a cup of flour, use a eighth a teaspoon of salt, eighth a teaspoon of baking powder,
Steven?
teaspoon and a half of coconut oil. Mix all that together. Add a cup of finely shredded cheese, 3 tablespoons of water. Stir that in, knead it together for about 10 minutes. Roll it real thin, and then I cut it into little squares with a pizza cutter prior to cooking it. Cook about 450 for about 5 minutes.
Do you put parchment paper down on your cookie sheet?
No.
Or
Nope. It's actually going to be done when it lifts right off automatically off the tray.
with or without parchment paper?
No parchment paper.
No parchment paper. Okay, cool. Do you treat the cookie sheet with anything?
Nope.
Okay, cool.
Nope.
Thanks.
Just roll it on, because what's going to happen is they'll cook, and as they cook off, they'll just kind of lift themselves right up. So you pick the thing up and shake the tray. They'll shake loose. And then Kitty's giving me
The guy wants to
5.
play. Say, hey, give me 5, give me 4, whatever the cat has. Give me a paw.
Give me 5.
We get 5. Should we do a special and feed the kitty on the Tassa stream?
Go ahead. I'm going to wrap it up here in a minute, so go
All
ahead. Feed
All
the
right,
kitty.
We'll feed the kitty on Tassa stream. I think that means I have to be talking the whole time, don't I? So the camera stays
Yes.
focused on
Yeah,
me.
just be easier. Yeah, I'll mute my mic. Go ahead.
There we are. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Kitty's like, oh boy. Good stuff's coming. Good stuff's coming.
Kitty,
Hey, kitty.
I'm hungry.
Oh boy.
I'm hungry.
Let's give him 2. It's late. He's like a gremlin. He's got 4 minutes left. We'll do one more.
There we go. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna have to turn back into a pumpkin here, guys. I gotta get ready for this TV show.
All right, so
All right.
Wild
So is
Wild
it,
Life or Wild
uh,
Wild Wife or whatever, yeah.
Is it something action? Is it sci-fi, or is it one of those?
It's a sequel to Wild Wild West. Remember the Wild Wild West? Da, 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 da.
It's Derek. It's a show about this family who lives in a home with a bunch of, I think they take in like stray wild animals.
Ah,
And my wife watched the first episode. I kind of halfway watched it, so we'll give her another look.
okay.
That's cool.
All right. Yeah, I'll be on again Friday night as usual, probably about 10ish. Don't have a topic yet, but that'll be the next
I won't
next
be
live stream.
here on a Friday night. I'm going on a trip.
Okay, well, have a good time.
I'm going to see my sister graduate.
Nice. It's that time of year. Yep.
Yeah, that's true.
All right. All right, I'm going to wrap this up. I wanted to thank everybody in the stream, of course, everybody here on the panel. Thank all you guys who joined tonight. We were talking again. If you missed any of this, just replay it back. I'll probably upload this to the archive.org as an MP3 file. If you want to take it on the road, you can download it from Archive. It's free. If you haven't already, check out Switch to Linux and DistroTube. And again, I'll probably catch you guys Friday night as usual. Don't have a topic yet, but I'll think of something, I'm sure. So that's it.
also guys, yeah.
Take care, guys.
Also guys,
Take care.
Peace, guys.
don't forget to subscribe up to these guys, ring the bell, and if you guys like their videos, smack that like button in the face like a boss.
All
And high
right.
fives all around.